Sorry for the late broadcast time. We were having some technical difficulties in our sound studio / bedroom. And yes, I did intentionally put on the schmarmy voice because I felt it was the best one for the time. Oh yeah. Now, where were we? Oh right. Signs importantes. Sorry if I'm humming the Gamera theme. I saw a mount in Final Fantasy XIV who literally flies like Gamera. And then, of course, the internet being the internet, someone made a video of said mount flying to the Gamera theme. Though the internet has still disappointed me in one great way, I never did get hammer time for the Krogan Warlord for Mass Effect 3's multiplayer. The world shall forever be diminished because of the lack of that. Doing more with the Romulan so I can show you some of the new content. And that's new, but not with an NU. We're trying a new setup since me and Twin are both awake right now. I've got her set up on the Xbox with headsets, and I'm set up on the computer with headsets, so hopefully there will be no sound bleed, but there might occasionally be conversation between the two of us, so you'll just have to forgive that. But you all know, friends of the show, Twinbee MK2. Just quickly go through other characters, so I have everybody at the same level for the newest rep. We're getting a big update on Tuesday, which promises to leave the game never the same again. Mainly because they're massively reconfiguring space combat, so it's not as much power creep. Because still, in this day and age, MMO developers haven't come to the acceptance that power creep is just a thing that's gonna happen. It's like, come on guys, you know power creep's gonna happen. Why are you trying to fight the inevitable? They claim it is to make the game more fun, but we shall see. We shall see. Hopefully it won't do to this game what the update for more fun did to DC Universe Online. Because that was bad. I'm pretty sure that game doesn't run anymore. I think it died. And it didn't die a good death. It died the death of a crack whore shot by a John. And more news from the world of Marvel heroes. It looks like they're gonna be even more anti-consumer than they were before. Like, oh hey, you paid $200 to buy this founder pack so you can get into the beta for the console version. Guess what? Our console servers don't work. Ah. It's sad. Marvel Heroes was a solid enough game prior to the biggest update ever. Yeah, I can tell why they call it the biggest update ever. It certainly left an impression. Not necessarily a good impression, but an impression nonetheless. Baba booey, baba booey, baba booey. Da 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 da.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
Your luck has to change sometime.
Oh, Hollow Lita, you make us all feel sad inside. Because your sarcasm hits quite close to home. I don't know if anyone's ever told you that. But goddamn. God googly googly. Great googly moogly. Oh, dude.
Double makes the universe go round.
Double me, darling. Double. Sigh. Double, 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 double.
Today must be your lucky day.
Assimilated deflector dish. That's the assimilated impulse engine, so I need the assimilated shield. Thankfully, later reputations didn't have these multiple sets like this. Still gotta get this character and my other female main through the main story stuff. But that'll happen eventually. Time to switch people. I wish more MMOs had the create your own race feature that this game has, but I guess in most MMOs it doesn't really make sense. Whereas in Star Trek, there was always some new freaky alien you could come up with next week. Though I will admit, I largely have used it to try to create hybrids, or create races that aren't by default playable. Alright. I think in the form of Final Fantasy XIV, Twin has finally found the MMO for her. This is a great day, as everybody needs to find that particular one. Alright, back to the gameplay. So I guess technically going through all those menus could be constituted as gameplay if you wanted to like make the term gameplay be really loose. Like looser than women during Mardi Gras. Ah, Mardi Gras. What can we say about it? It's a thing that happens. Gotta love that Mardi Gras is essentially the Christian holiday where they get to be hedonistic fucks, because then they have to spend 40 days, like, denying themselves things they love. You gotta love the logic behind that. We'll give you this one day every year, you can do whatever the hell you want, but for the next 40 days after that, you have to feel bad about it. Because Christianity. The religion of... Now, let's begin this mission. And of course, there'll be new missions that'll come out with the expansion on Tuesday. Well, I don't know if I can call it an expansion. It's more of just an update. Because they don't really do big expansions that often. They do more like, hey, here's a couple of new features and stuff, and right there. We've arrived in the Hurazini system. I'm reading 2 local ships. Incoming hail from the IKS core.
Lavan, I am General Rode, security advisor to the Lakari. I have read your report on the incident at 20 Draconis. If the Zenkethi are behind all this, we must be ready to meet them in battle.
In battle. And yes, that is Tony Todd. Voicing the character he played in Next Generation and Deep Space Nine.
Do you have any questions? I have met the Zenkethi in battle many times. I know how they think and how they fight, Because of this, I have been assigned to investigate the proto-matter incidents here. The Empire wants to know more about the Zinkethi's new weapon. Do you have any question? We know the Zinkethi have developed a proto-matter weapon. What we do not know is why. They have not attacked any of our enemies with this weapon. This is puzzling, considering their proximity to several key Federation systems. The Empire has asked, what drives the Zinkethi to use such a weapon? And I intend to provide the answer. Do you have any questions? The Lakari are just ahead, and eager to begin the search.
It's good to see you again. It looks like we have another incident to study. We sent out a number of long-range sensor probes to this sector recently. After the events of 20 Draconis, I took the liberty of setting the probes to scan for proto-matter. I'm afraid they found something. Let's begin our search by sending a short-range probe to the nearby planet.
This is your ship's main voyage,
Yes,
isn't
the
it?
project was a community effort designed by some of our best and brightest. With the help of our allies in the Alliance, we were able to finish construction and the shakedown cruise faster than anyone expected. The Riskova may not be as large or impressive as some ships, but she's ours, and she's ready for the job.
Congratulations, she's a
Crew
fine
of the
vessel.
Riskova stands ready.
Understood. Move near the planet and launch a probe.
Proto-matter is the weapon of a coward, but we respect its power.
Protomatter can also be quite beneficial, General, when used properly.
Yeah, the Lucari are the first race to use the protomatter in a way that, isn't a terraforming bomb.
The probe is away. The atmosphere of the planet is so thick it will take the probe some time to get through the interference. While the probe is busy, we can collect data from the planet's moons. At least one moon has signs of protomatter energy. A closer look will give us more information.
Perhaps the probe's information will give us more insight as
This
to
is
why
a Class
these
Y
attacks
moon.
are occurring.
It's incapable of sustaining most known life forms, but it was scorched by protomatter recently. Why would anyone devastate such a place? I think we should take a look at the next moon.
The game didn't properly sync those wiggles.
Perhaps they used the moon as a test site for the weapon.
Basically, Rodek was saying why they...
So, it was a poor choice. Why scour a world already devoid of life?
It sickens me to see protomatter used like this.
But yeah, they're the first race to use protomatter for a power source.
Another enigma, I'm afraid. This is a Class D moon, similar to Luna in the Sol system. Incapable of supporting life, and yet it has been hit by a protomatter. Why? Perhaps the third moon will have some answers. Let's take a
Acknowledged.
look.
Acknowledged. We'll head to the third moon and scan.
Another uninhabited moon, but one quite different from the first. What is the pattern?
This makes no sense. There is no tactical pattern to these attacks. There must be a reason, though.
Let's figure this out quickly before more lives are lost.
Yes, lives lost.
Class L. I'm picking up some ruins on the surface, some simple life forms. There's evidence of crude attempts at terraforming, but no signs of a protomatter detonation. Looks like there was an attempted settlement on this planet, but the project was abandoned. By the look of these readings, it took place over a century ago. The probe we sent to the planet is active now. It's sending data back to us. I'm detecting incredible levels of radiation, atmospheric pollution, ruins of great cities, and... Oh no. Based on these scans, I believe this is the planet Kantar, the original homeworld of my people. There are no signs of protomatter here. It seems Kantar was rendered incapable of supporting life long ago. By the Kantari. I can barely believe what I'm seeing. I've always wondered what became of them, and now I know. Most Lukari thought something like this would happen, but some of us hoped they would see reason and overcome it. It saddens me deeply to see otherwise. I suppose you have some questions for me. Once we were all Kantari. Those who followed the teachings of the scholar Lukar came to be known as Lukari. The Kantari were obsessed with power and material wealth. Their pursuit of such things was destroying the people and the planet. The Lukari stood against those things, and for that, we paid a terrible price. I suppose there was a terrible schism between Kantari and Lukari. It ultimately led to civil war. We lost. In the final days of the war, most of us chose self-imposed exile over death or imprisonment. We gathered on our remaining ships and left Kantar forever. To this day, that event is known as the Great Exodus.
Kind of mirrors.
You have some questions.
Kind of mirrors what happened between those who went under the Raptor's star and the Vulcans. Those who went under the Raptor's star, of course, being the
Much
Romulans.
about Kantar was stricken from our records, including its location. Only a few Lukari know of the homeworld. My crew and I were not among their number until now. It is a shameful matter that many of us would like to forget. I suppose you have some questions for me.
Transmitted the coordinates to the next system of our investigation, Admiral. We are ready to depart on your command. Warp out. Reading a proto-matter signature detected by the Lukari. Preliminary scans indicate the event occurred within the last 24 hours. General Rodek is hailing us.
There has been a large-scale battle in this system. We are analyzing the debris. It appears the losing side possessed technology roughly a century behind our own. Preliminary scans indicate that the battle was very one-sided. I recommend we take a closer look at some of the nearby debris.
Our scans are showing the wreckage of dozens of ships. They weren't all military either. I'm seeing remains of freighters, mining ships, research craft, even luxury vessels.
Was this the Zenkethi?
Unclear at the moment. We have not detected any Zenkethi debris in the field yet. Whoever did this was powerful, but not honorable. There is no honor in attacking the weak. I'm detecting strong energy signatures ahead. Further scans may prove to be more conclusive.
Agreed. Let's move to the energy signatures and scan them.
Around 50 ships were involved in the battle. Many were lightly armed, if that. I am reading traces of engine-grade plasma ahead. It does not match that left by the local craft. Perhaps the aliens managed to score a hit to the engines of an enemy ship. I suggest we advance and investigate further. This is all that is left of a Zinkethi vessel. It appears the aliens detonated the warp core of one of their capital ships after ramming the Zinkethi at full impulse. They fought with honor. For them, it was a good day to die. They are reptilian, territorial, and aggressive. In battle, they are ruthless and devious. If they fought with honor, they would almost be respectable warriors. They fought the Empire and the Federation and lost. It appears they are preparing for another war. But with whom? I dislike riddles. Let us get to the truth of these attacks. Perhaps they are testing the weapon against planets that are not part of the Alliance, hoping that we will turn a blind eye to their crimes. Once they have perfected the weapon, they will certainly use it on their old enemies. Their list of enemies is long. We should continue our investigation. There may be more clues in this area.
Agreed, let's continue.
I'm receiving a distress call. It's very faint. I'm sending you the coordinates.
I don't know who you are or where you came from, but thank you.
What happened here?
What can I tell you? Egan Burin, captain of the Pavini starship Bastion. Or what's left of her, anyway. Most of my crew was planetside on shore leave. Invaders warped into the system. We went into battle with a skeleton crew. It's a miracle we survived. What can I tell you? I honestly have no idea. Until today, we had never seen them. We hailed them. They didn't answer, and then they started shooting. They just kept firing, even when we tried to surrender. And then some sort of energy bomb went off on the homeworld. It killed everyone. They finished off the rest of our ships and left. Somehow they missed us.
Most fortunate.
What can I... No. We had no colonies, no allies from other worlds. Until today, we were our own worst enemies. The powers that be on Povin fought amongst themselves from time to time, and everyone thought we were one step away from a global war. In the end, we put all of that behind us to fight these aliens as one. And we still lost.
You're still here, Captain.
What can I tell you? There might be survival pods from other ships out there among the wreckage. Could you look for them? We're doing all we can to keep life support running over here. I can't start a search and rescue operation on my own. If you have any engineers you could loan or some spare parts, my crew and I would be forever grateful.
Our engineers will assist you while we search for survivors. I'm pretty sure the guy who voices this captain is the same guy who voices Tillman from my bridge crew during the early parts of the Romulan storyline. Where are they? Are they up or down? Ah, there they are.
Someone heard. By all the gods, someone heard the signal. I'm saved.
up or are they down? They're up. Yeah, sometimes it can be a pain to maneuver in 3D space.
I thought no one would come. Thank you, strangers. Thank you.
Thank you, whoever you are. Thank you.
Gotta love them UTs.
Thank you again. May we seek asylum among your kind? Please, we don't have anywhere else to go.
We're sending you to the location of Starbase. We're sending you to the location of Starbase K-13. It's not far from here.
I've confirmed the captain's story. The planet nearby was hit by a proto-matter blast. Estimated casualties in it. Check your long-range sensors. It just happened again. Another detonation.
Confirmed. Go to red alert.
It's time for a reckoning. The Zinkethi must pay for their crimes. We must go now, before...
These douchebags are going down! Now entering the Jod core system. Indicates the presence of a pre-industrial civilization on the planet ahead. The moon shows a recent signs of proto-matter detonation. I'm detecting Zinkethi life signs on the planet. They may be preparing another bomb.
Whatever the Zinkethi are doing down there, we need to stop it. Now. Target their cruisers first, if possible. The support they provide to their allies is difficult to deal with, as long as they are active. Now is not the time to sit and chew ligament. We should strike now, before they... Whatever the Zinkethi... Zinkethi warships! Red alert!
Alliance vessels. This system has been claimed by the Zinkethi Coalition. Your presence is unnecessary. Leave at once.
That's not gonna happen.
You were warned. So be it. We now walk on the path of violence.
To battle, Kamaki. Fight well, and do not fear death.
We must fight, and we will fight to win, General.
I'm lasering them in the face with space lasers.
Strong. But we will be stronger.
I'd say the Rescava did quite well in the first battle.
A good battle. Well fought. The honor of victory is ours.
I believe the Zenkethi are using some type of jamming technology to conceal the proto-matter bomb from us. Finding it could be difficult in this terrain.
Their weapon is inefficiently shielded. It leaks kaons at a level our tricorders can detect and track. I recommend we scan for elevated kaon levels and follow the signal. The kaon particle traces lead into the valley ahead of us.
Oh, I see. They followed the waterfall. The rocks here are causing a lot of interference. We should take another set of scans to get our bearings.
I thought he's like, stupid machine. What she's wearing is the armor you can get from the Lucari reputation system for ground combat. It allows you to have a shock gauntlet, which is kind of cool.
Yeah! The Zenkethi!
They're big and angry.
We now walk the path of violence.
So be it. Attack! Come, Zenkethi. See our true warrior fight.
You will not stop us.
So, there are some Zenkethi with a taste for battle. Good.
Scans indicate they took the path to the east. Why would they destroy entire planets?
They must find some tactical advantage in these actions, for some reason.
I'm reading Zenkethi life signs ahead. They are waiting for us.
Ah, good. We will meet them in glorious battle.
Gotta reorganize my tray. It's kind of a mess right now. Digimon. There we go. Ah! I fell into the ground and nearly ceased to be.
using delaying tactics. We must be getting close.
The path continues down from here. The protomatter bomb is still ahead of us. The Kaon levels are rising. We're getting closer to the protomatter bomb.
Oh, we're getting closer to the proto-matter bomb.
Stop them! This world must be cleansed!
Making damage detected. Shield losing power.
Ha! They fight like cornered rabbit tar. I can smell them here.
There, just ahead. I see guards. We must be close.
Enemy target on sensor.
The trail ends here. I'm reading Zenkethi life signs inside that blocked-off cave.
Blasting through all that rock will take time we don't have.
I'm reading a tunnel behind that waterfall. One that leads to the cave. We must move quickly.
Let's finish this. Follow the tunnel behind the waterfall
Move
cave.
swiftly, and we can take them by surprise.
Look! They've set up the protomatter bomb in here. But we'll need to clear the Zenkethi from the cave before we can do anything about the bomb.
They only left a few guards. They clearly did not notice the sentries.
Enemy target on sensor. Enemy target on sensor.
Oh my. That is a huge protomatter matrix. It's controlled by 3 regulator consoles, all active and cycling towards detonation. I could shut it down, but I need time. Cover me while I work.
More Zenkethi. Defend the Lakari!
Shutting down Pylon Alpha.
For honor! For the Empire! Your path of violence ends here, Zenkethi.
Pylon Alpha is offline.
Soon, victory will be ours. Keep fighting!
Shutting down Pylon Beta now.
Ah! Got all these effects going off, so the game's lagging a bit.
elevator is shut down. Pylon Gamma is down. We're all clear.
Gotta say, the ground combat seems to be a lot better these days than it was back before the last patch.
Pylon Gamma is down. We're all clear. It's done. All the bombs are deactivated. We can... Wait. Look! These crystal formations are very similar to those we found at the first proto-bombing site on Draconis 3. This can't be a coincidence. We may have found what the Zenkethi are targeting in these attacks.
Word from the core. Zenkethi ships are dropping out of it.
On intercept course, beam us up.
Alliance vessels. I am Fleet Admiral Aranzen Tarak. As you now know, this system has been claimed by the Zenkethi Coalition. Further aggression on your part will not be tolerated. This world is not yours to defend. Leave now, while you're still able.
We do not recognize your claims, Zenkethi. Your forces have murdered millions. If you are the leader here, it is you who will answer for these crimes.
We're not going anywhere till this is over.
Then your choice is made. A path of violence. It is what I have walked many times, without fear, without remorse. Come, let us walk it together.
Fight now! For honor and glory! Comply!
Target's shield has failed.
The hell? Something fucked me up right, Venus. Ah, got hit with one of their Tetrion torpedoes. Damn it, where are those torpedoes? Yes, I am constantly teleporting tri-cobalt bombs into their ship. Because why not?
This is far from over. Tell your leaders the Zenkethi will not be denied. Those who try to stop us will be purged, their homeworlds cleansed. You have been warned. Test us at your peril.
Let them flee. Let them run to their masters and whimper like craven tars. Let them whisper of warriors who fight with honor and without fear.
I doubt we've seen the last of them,
You
General.
may be right. They may return and bring their proto-matter weapon with them. Should that day come, I hope to meet them in battle once more with a warrior like you at my side. But for now, I must return to the Empire. There is a matter of great importance that I must investigate there.
I think we found a big piece of the puzzle. I believe the Zenkethi are targeting planets with concentrations of those strange crystals. But why? A riddle for another day, I suppose. For now, we should return and share what we've learned. About everything. Including the fate of Kentar.
Depart system. Just set it here for now. These are the ones that died. If you want, you can use up the single-use type batteries.
The reports are true, then. The Zenkethi have a proto-matter bomb. Unfortunate. I admit great discomfort at the thought of this weapon being used on another world, especially one in the Republic. We must know more about this bomb and how to stop it. We need to know more about these crystals you mentioned as well. If they are the key to these attacks, we need to know why.
Congratulations, Admiral.
Aha. All of Tier 1 is completed. I wish I had $60 to spend on this, 'cause that would be awesome. Oh yeah. Actually, the thing I'd really like to get as well is also where is it? Huh. Is the 31st Century bundle not a thing anymore? Ah, here it is. This is what I'd really like to get because it gives a ship for each class.
The Lakari people have We've received some discomforting reports from the Lakari. They have discovered some unusual activity in an unexplored region of the Alpha.
Huh. That's strange. Let me check something. Gotta check something because something weird's going down here.
Congratulations, Admiral.
Okay. Let's go here. Signs important.
The Lucari have discovered some unusual activity in an unexplored region of the Alpha Quadrant.
Huh.
The data suggests
Really
another
strange.
weaponized use of protomatter, similar to what happened recently at Draco.
Very, very strange.
Some time ago, there was a...
Very strange indeed. Oh well. It's a mystery for another time. Maybe it's just some glitch in their system. Sell this useless crap. Sell it all.
The issue involving the displaced Admiral Tanay needs to be addressed. The timeline is secure at the moment.
I'll be right back, guys. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna be checking something quite quick here. I want to see if that's a known glitch or if it's something new for me. Of signs. Importance. STO. Let's see. See if there's some glitch on the Reddit. Ah! Here you go. Ah, it looks like it might have something to do with the console version. Okay. Curses. Now entering the STO system, no signs of sniffs on senses, Romulan and otherwise. The transporter room reports Agent Daniels has been aboard.
If she's here, we'll need to draw her out. Seela's not easily found if she doesn't want to be. In the meantime, there's a structure on one of the larger asteroids, but the mineral content there is making long-range scanning difficult. I recommend we take a closer look. Looks like a small base of some kind. Industrial, possibly military. Whatever it is, it's running at low power. We'll get a better idea at close range. Our intel shows a lot of Romulan activity in this system, in Seela's name. Command believes she's planning an assault of some kind and gathering tactical resources. This looks like an abandoned Tal Shiar base, or what's left of one. It looks like the interior has been stripped of anything useful over an extended period of time. This could be the work of Seela's forces. They've been... Wait! Picking up enemy contacts. Romulan ships decloaking. Romulans are going under cloak. They're disengaging. Those ships were older, but battle-ready and in good repair. It's unusual of them to run so quickly. We should stay sharp. There's probably more of them out there waiting under cloak. In the meantime, we damage their propulsion systems in the fight. They're leaking plasma. As long as they keep leaking plasma, we can follow their trail. They're not trying to lose us. I've got a bad feeling about this.
Unidentified ship, you are trespassing in sovereign Romulan space, and you are outnumbered. Surrender now.
Nice to see you two.
Oh, it's you again.
We're not here to fight, Seela. Stand down.
No. You are still trespassing in my space, and I could use a new ship for my armada.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Fine, we'll talk. Cut to the chase and tell me what it is you want.
Information, specifically the location of certain Tel Shiar prisoners.
Ah, I'd wondered when you'd get around to looking for the Enterprise C survivors. When the Enterprise C survivors were taken, my father agreed to let the rest of the crew live, so long as Lieutenant Yar served as his concubine. She was executed, but my father held to his word. I am aware of their location, but I will only take you there if you agree to bring me. And what assurances do I have that I won't simply be executed? I will not agree to my death.
We'll make arrangements for incarceration, not execution.
If I agree to this, I will be held in house arrest, somewhere reasonably pleasant by my own standards. I will not be cut off from access to the outside world, and I will not be given any sort of death penalty. Further, you will allow my crew and their ships to go without harassment.
I'm sure such an arrangement can be made. Prepare to beam aboard. Oh, Sela.
The survivors of the Enterprise C were sent to a Tel Shiar prison world. Set a course for the Pictet system. I shall make my way to the bridge of this quaint little ship.
Quaint little ship that kicked your ass!
I'm reading several Tholian ships on sensors, along with some unusual temporal fluctuations. Tholians dislike anything involving time travel. We should be cautious. If they think we're responsible, they may become hostile.
Anything you'd like to add, Sela?
This is the Pictet system, one of many worlds where the Tel Shiar would send assets important enough to keep, but not threatening enough to kill. Supplies to this world stopped when Hobus was destroyed, but the Enterprise C crew are proven survivors. I admit the Tholians being here is new. Surely they won't be too difficult for you to handle.
Shields up, helm, take us in.
Do not intrude. The anomaly will be eradicated. Leave now.
The Tholians were performing a detailed scan on that anomaly. Something caused it to destabilize quickly. Not a good sign.
Like, we thought we were done with the time travel shenanigans, but they just keep pulling us back in.
The anomaly will be purged, as will you. Vengeance for the fallen.
like I've killed so many Tholians I've lost count.
Another temporal anomaly. It was emitting high levels of tachyon radiation and chronotons before it dispersed. I'll need more data, but I think it was an unstable gateway into transdimensional space.
You see, interrupt.
Scan one. I want to see what they were so interested in.
Based on these readings, I believe I've found an origin point for these anomalies. They're coming from the planet below. I suggest sending an away team down to collect data.
Let's get down and wait. Shields up, Tholians. Let's get down and party. I transported a bomb into your fucking ship. If you only had a brain, you wouldn't fight me when I've killed literally thousands of your kind. You're a foolish little man who likes to dance with death. But don't you shake hands with danger, you'll never get back. Oh, yeah, fly.
All clear. We should check out the planet while we can. I am detecting signs of habitation, but there's a
You've
lot of
also used
temporal disturbances.
the
They're making it hard to obtain a clear
arrows on
reading at
the
this distance.
keyboard, I think. The arrows work? The controller will work when it decides to work.
Assemble your most able crewmen and... My apologies. This is your ship. You give the orders.
Indeed. Daniel, Celia, you're with me. Beam down, see what's happening. Let's see. That's also a command officer. He's not the... What? It'll be in your head forever, won't it?
We've beamed down into an open courtyard within what's left of the Tal Shiar prison. Doesn't look like it's been inhabited for some time. I'm reading a number of temporal anomalies nearby, but my tricorder's having trouble analyzing the data. We're going to need to get closer.
The shipments of supplies stopped long ago. Anyone alive down here will have a hard time. I suppose that's too bad for Admiral Tanay. That is what this is about, isn't it? There are two of her and no one else. If you find her, I doubt she will be alive.
We're going to search for her regardless.
This world was abandoned by the Tal Shiar decades ago. I doubt there's anyone left. The survivors of the Enterprise C might have left personal items behind.
So I have one major complaint with Star Trek Online. The data pads are way too freaking huge. If that one looks fairly normal. Like a normal data pad.
This datapad dates back to the late 23rd century. It lacks power, but it should work once it's recharged.
Let's see if you can power it up. There could be useful data on it. I'll show you the other kind of data pads in the game if they have one of those models here.
This place hasn't been inhabited for a while. Thing is, the tricorder's giving a range of time from 3 months to 30 years. We're dealing with some serious temporal flux here.
That could be a problem. Let's keep moving.
That's one of the temporal anomalies. I wouldn't recommend entering its area of effect. From what I'm reading here, contact with the anomaly will do considerable damage to anything organic. That being said, I believe we can deal with this. Stand over there, and between the two of us, we should be able to nullify the anomaly.
Understood. Give you an idea of what the anomaly was affecting. That's not the game breaking. That's literally a molten line of rock right along the edge of where the two timelines are clashing. Guess this one's using different models.
Someone's been here recently. The tricorder's picking up numerous signs of habitation in the area. By the look of things, someone stripped this area of all useful items and moved on. This gate appears to have been locked from the outside. Perhaps they knew about the anomaly but didn't have the means to handle it. Ah, there's a manual override over there near our beam-down site. We can use it to open the gates. When we disrupted this anomaly, it seemed to fracture, forcing more anomalies into our timeline. I think we might be able to use that to our benefit, though. I'll stay here and act as an anchor. Find the best spot and use your tricorder to emit the dispersal pattern again. We should be able to push those bubbles away from the gate controls. If you get stuck, I'll be able to get you out of trouble.
Watching a movie for something real quick, guys. I'll be right with you. Is there anything being said? I see. Alright, where were we? I'll disperse the anomalies and make a path to the gate controls.
The gate controls are trapped within an anomaly. We'll have to disperse it to use them.
But yeah, wherever you see like this thing, it basically shows where the different timelines intersected.
Looks like some of the closed gateways are rusted now. Find another spot.
So let's see what happens when you enter an anomaly. Massive damage that you can't block. And that's why you're not supposed to walk into them. Because they hurt.
I think I can see a clear path to the controls. The gate's open. Try to disperse where you are. It should open an escape path for you. Excellent. The gate's open, and we can continue our search for Tanae. Well done. Before we move on, I've managed to bring the data pad online again. It might contain clues on what happened. Looks like it's a personal note. The primary user is Lieutenant Tasha Yar of Starfleet.
Give me that. The first entry dates to 2389, nearly 40 years after she was executed. Or at least 40 years after she was supposed to have been executed. I am Natasha Yar, Security Chief for the Federation Starship Enterprise D. Well, at least that's who I was. For the past 40 years, I've been Tal Shiar Prisoner 24601. But even that changed a week ago. Our regular supply drops from the Star Empire stopped 3 months ago. The guards started caring too much about what might be going on elsewhere in the quadrant and caring too little about their prisoners. We were able to overpower them.
Freaking bloody noses.
We've managed to recover some data pads like this one, but there isn't enough here for us to call for help or escape. I'm leaving this record in case anyone comes looking for us. Sela, if you find this, I still love you. I've missed you. Lieutenant Yar was supposed to have been executed. My father said it happened. There were witnesses. How could... Clearly, there was some judicious alteration of history. The Enterprise C survivors were here, but something drove them away. Something more than the loss of supplies. We should continue looking for the survivors. Your duplicate of Tanae may yet be alive on this rock. It would not have been the first time. No doubt he thought she might still have been useful in some way. I can see the pity in your eyes. Keep it. His decision allowed me to become the person I am. I do not regret that.
Look, there's a path ahead. This anomaly looks more stable than the others. It's probably less deadly. Let's not find out now.
Because then you have data pads like this one. Just so ridiculously huge.
The generators died. No one knows why. Richard thinks it might have been the big predators. Tanae thinks she might be able to salvage some of the parts. I hope she can. She's been glaring over the remains for the last 3 hours. 2 more dead. We can't stay here. The animals know the fence won't harm them anymore. I rigged an early warning system using a trick I learned growing up on Turkana 4, but that won't stop them. We took a vote, and we're moving. Build a new settlement in the old secondary supply bunker the Tal Shiar abandoned 20 years ago. The surviving guard has agreed to guide us there. Loyalty to the Tal Shiar fades. You've been stranded with the inmates. Lieutenant Yar never discussed Turkana 4. When I was older, I discovered why. She was a survivor. It is clear that her arrangement with my father was just that. Obviously, she continued that trait into her existence here. There's more ground to cover.
Let's keep following.
There's another
the path.
unstable anomaly. The anomaly has left some of the rock in a molten state.
You took readings in orbit. Surely we should continue looking. Clearly these anomalies must be connected to your mission. Now, while you take a leisurely stroll through the jungle, I will be moving on. It appears that there are more survivors than initially believed.
On that, we are in agreement. Let's keep searching.
There's a lot of interference, but I think I'm picking up a life sign. Tanae!
Go away! Leave this place!
Oh, she's very angry.
No! Please, not again! Stay away! Stay away!
It seems your duplicate, Tanae, is still alive, and she isn't pleased to see you. I don't really blame her. I wasn't exactly thrilled to see you again, either.
I see structures ahead. Let's check it out.
She's run off, but there's an even larger anomaly close.
It looks like it was a structure at one point, but I doubt any survivors would remain in a ruin like this.
Another temporal anomaly, and this one is larger than the last. There are temporal eddies moving through the area, and a few stable locations between them. Now, if you establish temporal stabilizers in these 3 locations, we can disperse the anomaly and get a better look at the area. Hopefully, the Enterprise C survivors were able to escape the area before this happened. There's a stable pocket ahead of you. Set up the first stabilizer there. That's the first stabilizer. 2 more to go.
I remember the first time I did this mission, I actually died here because I didn't realize there were these pockets you can walk through to get through safely.
Incredible! Dispersing the anomaly restored more than I expected. We should look for clues.
Again, you can see where the two timelines intersected.
We found an entire grove of saplings. Richard swears the same area was full of towering trees last week. He might be mistaken. We're both getting older. I thought I saw a Romulan in the brush. He was wearing a 22nd century style uniform. When I looked again, he was gone. Maybe I'm going senile. Richard insists I'm too young. Maybe it's because the outside world has been on my mind. Sela has been on my mind. I wonder what happened to her. While her father was a Tal Shiar general, he spared my life in the end. Perhaps he wasn't petty and cruel to her. I hope he wasn't. If you should find this, happy 50th birthday, Sela. I have missed you. I only regret we were separated.
I'm gonna turn down the game music just a little bit.
Shelter ruined, last tricorder gone, half our stores destroyed, 5 dead. The hunters and gatherers returned to find many dead and unconscious. I used my emergency medic training, but I was a security officer, not a doctor. Devek might not make it. None of them can remember what happened. Without the tricorder, we can't scan the area, or for internal injuries. I suspect that there is something on the planet causing anomalies of some kind. Danae has not reacted well. She's been talking to herself and keeping apart from everyone. A problem for later. Survival now.
Some sort of temporal inversion happened here. Some of the rock returned to an earlier molten state, while some of the building materials aged over 200 years. Anyone standing close to these objects would have been affected as well, regressed to infancy, or aged to the grave.
Same thing could happen to us if we're not careful.
Well, I suppose it was nice that Yard thought of me. But that doesn't change the fact that she was going to steal me away like a thief in the night. If she had truly cared, she would have stayed where she was. My father was not cruel or petty, at least not to me. He was hard because he needed to be. I thrived because of it. The Enterprise C survivors were surprisingly resilient. Tasha's notes are more sparse but seem to record a productive, if primitive, community. They mention a secondary site close by. If your Vulcan survived, there may be others, and they may be.
Over here! There's a path with recent footprints. I'm reading another anomaly, further down the path. Tanae might be there.
The Tanae anomaly and its allies must be purged.
That Foley and Away team must have beamed down to investigate the anomalies. This looks to be a well-worn path. Some recent footprints here, heading the other way. They might have run into Tholians.
I gotta wonder something, check something. Just out of my own personal curiosity. I wonder if this is something that shows up in the actual TV series, or if it was created specifically for them. Oh, so it is something. It's something O'Brien encountered in an episode of The Next Generation. That's kind of cool.
It seems your Vulcan passed this way recently. Perhaps the cavern mentioned Natasha's logs is nearby. We should follow.
Follow the trail.
It seems many of the refugees would be alive if it weren't for the anomalies. I wonder how many are left.
I'm detecting signs of recent habitation in this location.
Maybe we'll find more answers.
This was some sort of dwelling up until a few months ago. If I'm reading this right, there was an explosion of Tetrion particles here. A fatal one, judging by the organic residue on the walls. No one's been living here since, according to these tricorder readings.
Understood. Let's keep searching. They may have left something behind.
The anomalies are temporal in origin. I watched Richard wither and die before my eyes. An anomaly appeared, and moments later he aged 100 years. We buried him this morning in the clearing. I never expected he and I would end this way. I miss him. Richard was a wonderful partner for these last decades, a good man. We built a wonderful life, despite it all. My only regret is that Sela never got to know how kind and brave Richard was. He'd have been such a wonderful stepfather. Danae hasn't been seen in days. I'm worried she won't come back. I'm worried she will. I thought her strange behavior might be a degenerative Vulcan sickness, but she was answering questions before they were asked, and she's been close to every anomaly that's happened. Maybe I'm jumping in shadows. The part of me that is still a security officer on the Enterprise doesn't think I am, though.
This is Danae. I have agreed to report the final words of Natasha Yar and to hold this log for the future. If there is one, if it isn't here already, What? No. Focus. Focus. Natasha Yar died of a fever. She wished for the story of the crew of the Enterprise C to be remembered. They were brave beyond expectation. She wished for her daughter to know that she was loved and that Natasha lived a long and happy life. But Natasha missed her, and and she hoped her daughter's life was wonderful. Natasha requests that if this log is found, that this record be conveyed to Sela of Romulus and to the Federation. Do not come near me.
So the cave, let's see where the cave leads. Today may be close by. We'll find her before these anomalies grow worse.
I think I see movement in the bushes.
Tanae?
Stop following me! No, go away! I told you to stay away! I am dangerous. You should not be. No, not again!
There's a new anomaly forming.
Tholians!
Purge the anomaly. Purge the contaminated.
Freaking really? That was some grade A bullshit there.
Tanae, the anomalies that have been occurring were caused by decades of temporal interference. Because of what happened with the Enterprise C, you exist in two places at once. We can fix this. You and your counterpart can be reintegrated. Your memories will be integrated as well, but the anomalies will stop.
See, this is different than what happened with Riker. Whereas Riker essentially had a quantum duplicate created from the teleporter accident, which created Thomas Riker. This is literally two people who are the exact same person, more or less, existing in time at the same time. And that's why these interference patterns of temporal energy are intersecting the way they are.
I see the logic in your presence here. I am anomalous. My presence here must be sufficiently reconciled to preserve the order of things. I presume you are here to accomplish this. Thus, I will go with you.
We'll fix this, Tanae. You don't have to hide any longer. There's something you should see. I scanned the area of the Tholian's last attack. Didn't find anything. I picked up... Well, I didn't find anything. I picked up something. Judging by the readers, I believe I found the remains of the Enterprise C crew. And there it is, Natasha Yar.
All this time, she was here. I believe she was dead. Tasha believed I might come looking for her. She believed it so strongly she left logs in case.
Of course.
Danae held her logs for her. And now, she is truly dead. This place has led to some interesting revelations, shall we say? I think it best we leave before more Tholians show up.
And the reason Tholians aren't all that fond of time travel is because time travelers
Looks like
killed
we
a
beamed up
large
just in
chunk of
time.
their species.
Several Tholian ships are on an attack vector.
Go to a red alert, all hands to battle stations.
We won't do what he will not. We will repair time.
we are actually going to repair time. You just don't know how to do it in any way other than to destroy everything around you.
Something is happening. It's happening again. Another anomaly is forming.
For battle, it's not over yet. You're being hailed by the USS Postock, its Admiral Tanay. As to say, the Admiral Tanay from our timeline.
I see you found my displaced temporal counterpart. Well done. An operations team is standing by on this vessel to assist with her temporal reintegration. Please beam her aboard, and we will begin the process. It is possible that I may acquire a new set of memories as part of the process. A small price to pay to stabilize the timeline. As it has been said, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one. I see. Having read the briefing from Starfleet Command, I find her presence here to be most logical, considering the situation.
She agreed to go into custody now that the issue has been resolved.
Very well. I will take custody of Sela and deliver her to a secure facility once the reintegration procedure is complete. Beam her aboard with my temporal counterpart.
It seems our journey is at a parting of the ways once more.
So it seems. You did agree to place yourself in custody, however.
I did, and I will. But I have a condition to my surrender.
Bring it up with the Admiral. Who could this guy be? Pale skin, engineering uniform, having a link to Tasha Yar.
Tell me about my mother.
So yeah, we're almost all certain that that's data, or new data, because of the whole memory transfer upgrade gobbledygook with B4.
The timeline is stabilizing. Anomaly counts are dropping, and our agents are reporting a decline in temporal aftershocks due to recent events. That's a good thing, by the way. The aftershocks of our recent discoveries on Pictet may take some time for Sela to resolve, however. I hope she's able to find a sense of peace and closure from what she's learned today. I'll be heading back to Temporal Command once we've fully integrated the two Tanays. Be seeing you.
And that brings you, with that mission, you guys are currently up to date with what's going on story-wise in Star Trek Online. We will end the stream here and start the next game.